Well, we had 3 people waiting, so hopefully the counter will still stick with that. Okay, so hello everybody. Batgoat's here with me.
Hello.
Um, let's see. Um, anyway, we're gonna see who else shows up. We're gonna give it a few minutes before we get started. About 3 people looks like with us right now, so that's cool. Um, yeah. So let's see. Um, I'm trying to think here. Let's see. Well, Batgoat. How'd your week go?
It was all right. I didn't do much. I did trivia on Wednesday night, and then I wasn't feeling good yesterday, so I was sleeping.
Yeah.
Didn't do
Yeah, I
anything
missed you
today.
last night. I think you caught that with my message, right? When I sent you today.
I didn't see that. Oh, the one for the stream.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So, anyways, so look, it's still just the 2 of us right now. I guess people are waiting. Yeah, yeah. Well, let's see. Did you come late on Tuesday, or were you? I don't even think you were even here for Tuesday. Wow.
Yeah, I was there Tuesday, but I fell asleep.
Ah. Yeah, Tuesday was the night we kept having the technical issues.
I think about 10 o'clock. I was when I went to bed. Yeah, I started the stream with you.
Uh, Unless we have 4 people watching now. All right, hello everybody. 80's here. Hey, 80.
Hey, 80. Hello. How are you?
Hey, Bat. See. Yeah, we're just waiting to see who else comes in. 80. If you can like and share the stream to help get some people in here, that'd be appreciated. Um, you know, you have some friends from Tugs groups and all that. Get the word out. Go. Hey. And I do thank you guys for all the likes and shares. That does help, to where we can get the. All right, we're up to 5 people now. Okay. So we're up to 5 people. We're at the 3 minute mark. So with that, hey, Woody's here. Hey,
Hey,
Woody.
Woody.
Hi.
No friends. You
I
have
have no
friends?
friends.
You have us.
Yeah.
You guys couldn't tell that I was eating on camera there, could you? I'm pretty slick like that.
Oh, you've got a friend. Okay, so we have 5 people in here now. So I guess I can kind of
Where's Toys? I need to drop a link for him. I got a story for him.
All right. Well, to kind of get everybody up to speed on what we're going to do tonight, so as you guys know, we're going to be continuing in October of 1937, looking back at comic history. This week, we're going to be looking at Centaur Comics, focusing in specifically on the 10th issue of funny picture stories. Before we get into the actual stories, I'm going to read a couple of paragraphs to kind of summarize the beginnings of the company to give you guys an idea how the company got started and all that. So there was all that. Not a lot. I love you guys. I'm a nice guy, really. If I had friends, they'd tell you. uh, so anyway, so so basically for tonight, I'm gonna first go to I'm going to first look at just a couple of paragraphs from a wiki fandom page in regards to Centaur Comics, just kind of give you a little bit of background on the company. Then we'll get into the reading material for tonight. I picked out 4 like drama stories. We'll go through those, and if we have time at the end, we'll go back through and we'll catch some humor stories as well. Just to kind of show the variety, as many comics back in those times were anthologies, were kind of a mixed anthology. Sitting in corner with listening ears on. Okay. All right. So without any further ado, since we do have a few people in here, let's get going a bit here. And then Batgoat, if you do see toys and you want me to pause or you want to take a quick breather so you can do what you need to do, then
Okay.
just let me know.
Okay.
Here we go. All right. So Centaur Publications actually started out here as comics magazine company in 19. Technically, the Centaur itself went from 38 to 42, but started originally in 36 as comics magazine company. So Centaur developed primarily from the comics magazine company from the Comics Magazine Company Incorporated. In 1936, comic book entrepreneur Everett M. Busy Arnold gave financial or other unspecified help to the New York-based firm founded by John Mahon and Bill Cook, former employees of Major Malcolm Wheeler Nicholson's National Allied Publications, the primary forerunner of DC Comics. The duo published the premiere issue of the Comics magazine, May 1936, which we kind of did go over a little bit, using inventory content from National Allied submissions. One collection historian suggests this was in lieu of pay. Okay, and this is one of the stories we talked about here. Among the Comics Magazine Company's original features was Dr. Mystic for one issue, for that first issue, the occult detective, not to be confused with Mr. Mystic of newspapers, The Spirit Section. The two-page feature was by future Superman creators Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster and were part of their Dr. Occult continuity. As you may recall back, but we did read part of this story.
Mm-hmm.
You know, with the name changed for trademark consideration. This was the beginning of a serial that introduced the villain Koth and the Seven. That continued in DC's More Fun Comics numbers 14 through 17 issues, also designated as Volume 2, numbers 2 through 5. The company's flagship title, the eponymous comics magazine, premiered with a May 1936 cover date, which meant it came out probably March or April of 36. That comic book series featured the first masked hero in American comics, writer-artist George Brenner's The Clock. You know, one of Batgoat's favorite guys, as he likes to call him, Mr. Napkin Face.
Was that me? Was that?
Well, you called him Mr. Napkin Face, yes.
No, Mike. Everything dropped out. The whole stream, everything dropped out, and I got a low connectivity thing. So I'm just wondering if that was me, which is pretty rare. I have good internet here.
Well, I don't see anything on my end. Albeit it's there's okay. We're back up to 5 now.
My computer just might have freaked out for a little bit. That's fine.
Yeah.
So you were talking about you're talking about Captain Napkin Face?
Yeah.
My boy the Clock?
Yeah. So this last paragraph that I just read, the company's flagship title, the eponymous comics magazine, premiered with a May 1936 cover date. That comic book series featured the first masked hero in American comics, writer-artist George Brenner's The Clock in the November 1936 issue.
Masked. Please.
Right. The first masked superhero. Hero.
Hey,
first
look,
masked hero.
I'm the Clock.
Yeah. And as we discussed before, Dr. Occult was probably considered the first superhero, you know, in other words, superpowered hero.
Wasn't he a mystery man? What's that definition?
Well, mystery man, I believe, was any kind of like costume superhero. Basically, I think was what that entailed.
Okay.
So let's see now. Ultlem Okay, I thought it was Ultim, but apparently it's Ultim Publications. This is kind of where we're at now with where we're at. So another entrepreneur, Henry A. Chesler, published Star Comics. Yeah, and as you know, Star Comics, Star Ranger, those comics. The first issue of which debuted with a February 1937 cover date. Star Comics was soon bought out by Altern or Altem. I guess maybe it is Altem Publications in September of 1937. The comics magazine company merged with that company using Altem as its brand. Financial difficulties forced Altem to sell some of its properties, including the clock, to Busy Arnold's Quality Comics. So basically, that's how Clock went from Centaur over to Quality.
Okay.
The rights were sold to Quality due to financial difficulties by. Now remember, this is the Depression. This is during the time of the Depression, so a lot of comic book, and as I kind of briefly mentioned, Nick Wheeler Nicholson was having some of the same issues. Was having some financial issues as well. So those are the first two paragraphs I want. Those are the two paragraphs I wanted to read. Just
80, kind of 80 just gave me props right there. The very last comment, as you can see.
Captain Napkin Face, laugh out loud.
I don't think she's seen him yet either. Have you seen?
No, I don't think she has. Because
wait till you see the clock, 80. He's man.
But then again, it's still going to be at least a few. It won't be like the next time we'll see the clock won't be until the first week of June.
Okay.
Friday, June, because that's when we'll be hitting Quality. With this new format that we've been doing. So, anyways, now with that, let me go ahead and so now that we got that out of the way, got kind of the introductory stuff out of the way to get people kind of caught up with the history there. And 12 minutes in, so it doesn't seem like we're that bad into it. So now we're going to get into, of course, the stories as soon as I can get to the book. Now most indexes will this book, Funny Picture Stories, technically had 24 total issues. But the thing is that as you saw there, it obviously was published under like different companies. Started out being published by the first 7 issues were published by Comics Magazine Company Incorporated. So they were so those 7 issues were volume 1, issues 1 through 7. And then volume 2 was published under the Ultim Publications brand, which volume 2 issues like 1 through 11, I believe, or basically issues 8 through 18.
Stories looks like the O in stories looks like a V. Or an upside down triangle. What is that?
What are you talking about? Yeah, on the cover there.
Yeah,
that may have just been a.
I know it's the font. They're trying to be cool.
Yeah, funny picture stories, history, thrills, action. That's gold, all right, Davey. But it happens to be your pa's gold tooth.
Oh yeah, no, that's no good.
Yeah. And then look, she's got the Daily Bugle there. Gold diggers invade West.
That's like 1849.
Anyway, so let's get to this then. So and then here's your ad page.
Pew 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 pew. That's the lighters. Look at the lighter guns. That's fantastic. Got the armed services rings.
Yeah. And then you got the pocket telescope right there.
That's rad. Little airplanes. Look at those toys.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing.
And here's the table of contents as we see it there. And you see right here where it says Volume 2, Number 3.
Mm-hmm.
So Harry A. Chesler, editor, Kenneth Fitch, managing editor. I believe Ken Fitch actually even wrote a story in here as well. So cover date November of 1937, 10 cents right there. So, wait. All right. So here's the first story we're going to look at.
Yeah, my Navy.
Blood Valve 5. So see the first panel there?
Woody, did you get that right off the bat? I told Mike was talking to me about this last week, and I'm like, well, that's a submarine. And he goes, yeah, it's a Navy thing. He's like, it is a submarine. I'm like, well, yeah, that's like, that means they're going to fire a torpedo, which I'm guessing, Woody, you've probably heard that. Like, it goes beyond the Navy. Like, you probably heard that from watching old movies, World War II movies. That'd be my guess.
Yeah, I was a bit more unfamiliar with that aspect. And that, again, that's one of the things that makes Batgoat one of the best color guys and one of the best co-host color guys in the business.
Just a bit outside.
Let's see. Yeah. Now, if I have not smiling at you guys, sound effects. So, anyways, as we get into the story here. Well, welcome, Ambassador Gezzo. We will proceed with maneuvers immediately. Hey, thank you, Captain. We will demonstrate our 2 new radiomagnetic range finders. The government will probably purchase whichever proves the best. Contact the plane, Lieutenant, and order them to set number 1 rangefinder. Yes, sir. One of our men invented number 2 rangefinder. However, we will test number 1 first. You have some clever men, Captain. Sorry to report, sir, that something's wrong with number 1 equipment. I can't understand it. It worked perfectly this morning. Take a look around. And you see what looks like a sign up there saying no admittance.
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing in here? Didn't you see the sign? No admittance. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't notice. Where's the man in charge here? I saw no one, officer. What's that noise? Jack, what happened? Oh, my head.
Yeah, I'll tell you what happened.
What do you think happened?
It has to do with amyl nitrates and questionable sexual practices and someone losing consciousness. But I won't go into much detail. It's a really bad joke, Mike. Don't dig too deep into it. It was bad. Okay. I'm sorry.
All right. Probably better left unsaid.
Yes. And anyone who gets it is sick like me.
All right. I don't know, Lieutenant. All of a sudden, someone beamed me. That's all I remember.
Well, now it's starting to sound true. No, I'm kidding.
Anyways, I must report this to the captain. And Ferdy, the ambassador's secretary, was the only one in there. Get Bandel to relieve Jack and repair the finder, and keep an eye on Ferdy.
Yeah, he was a little suspicious.
Well, being somewhere he shouldn't have been.
Mm-hmm.
Repair the finder as quickly as possible, Brandel, so we can get on with the demonstration. I'll have it fixed in a jiffy. Oh!
Did he just get shot? Holy crap. I mean, they didn't make the bang noise, but there's a gun right there.
Well, you see the gun. You see, I guess, the smoke coming out of the gun. So it's possible. See what the next panel shows us. Hey, you, come back here.
And he actually peeks around the corner. What, me? You talking to me? I'm going to run.
I lost him, Captain, but I think he went below. Follow him, Lieutenant, and don't let him get away.
He's not a lieutenant. He's wearing a commander's bars.
He went that way. Okay, sailor. I'll get him. Explode. The sign on the door says explosives. He must be in here. Don't let him shoot. I didn't do anything. Help! Good work done. I see you've got the culprit. Yeah, and I got you too. Guess you felt pretty good when they made you lieutenant instead of me, huh? Hey, what's the idea? Now look here, Captain. If you don't put the okay on my rangefinder, I'll blow the whole ship up. The man's mad. There's only one way to save the ship. Open valve 5 and flood the explosives room. Yes, sir. We'll drown like rats.
Hey, I was wrong. It's just a regular flood on the ship. They're just on a ship, so they're saying open flood valve 5 to like. It'd be like a ballast thing where if the ship is listing or healing, you can flood certain compartments to like balance it out. So I think that's what they're talking about, but to douse the explosives.
Right. To make it so he can't
blow it up. Yeah. So I was wrong. That's correcting myself there.
Right. You can't get away with this, Dunn. You see right there in the next panel, the room flooding there.
Mm-hmm.
Look at that. The civilian there, he's up to his chest already.
Mm-hmm. I haven't been on a ship that's flooding, but I've been in flooding simulators. It's not fun. It's scary.
I mean, the water's rushing on you pretty fast.
And they turn off the lights, so you have battery-powered lights, and you have to like fix flooding. It's not easy.
Yeah. This is Lieutenant Ford, Captain. Everything's okay. Now close flood valve 5. Water's up to my neck.
Ooh.
I was just looking around when I see him shoot officer. Then he forced me into explosive room. For a while, we thought you did the shooting. I want to commend you on your bravery, Lieutenant. You saved the ship. It was just in the line of duty, sir. There you go. I think that's the end of that story.
Mm-hmm. That was a good one.
Any comments from the chat?
Doesn't look like that, except 80 said a while back. I don't know if you see that.
Oh.
When we were talking about the shooting.
Uh-huh.
She said gun had a silencer. I'm like, that's a good point. That could have been.
Oh, yeah. Okay, we see that. If they were nude without uniforms calling on Columbo. I've never watched Columbo, so I don't get that. But
I did when I was young.
I have watched many ships who sunk, some people videoing them.
Yeah. I've seen a lot of that stuff too. I'm just saying, like what I was saying was the simulator I was on was scary. And then I've obviously been on a United States Navy warship. That's why, just in case anyone's not sure, that's my credentials.
Yeah. You want to tell for those who are a bit uninitiated your background?
I was in the Navy for 11 years. I was a corpsman. So the first 4 years I was a hospital corpsman, meaning I wasn't designated. So I went to sea. I kind of traveled around the country, did stuff in naval hospitals as an undesignated corpsman. And then I went over to the brown side. After I got off the Nimitz, meaning right after 9/11, I went to the Marines. So I became a combat guy. I went to school for it, and that's how I ended my career. It was great. I love the Marines.
Yeah, but you were more of a medical corpsman, though, right?
Corpsman, correct? Yes, that's Army calls it medics. Navy, it's corpsman.
All right.
Which is cool because the corpsmen have won more medals of honor. That's Navy corpsman.
Yeah. And according to the counter, we have 2 people watching, but I know we got more than 2 people watching. So.
Don't share information on myself. 80. I have. If you go to my channel, I was on the news about being a paramedic that was mobilized for Iraq and stuff. So I'm not too worried about doxing, and I've already doxed myself, honestly, with my own videos.
Yeah. And I pretty much, I am who I say I am. I'm kind of the same way. So. And yes, I am aware there are more than one Mike Walters in the world. I know of 2 others. There's the TMZ guy, and there's also a former major league pitcher by that name.
Mike Walters is a common name? No.
Yeah,
I'm kidding.
I got to go off camera for a couple moments. Yeah, I'll be right back.
Yeah, I see what you're saying, 80, for sure. Like I say, I put those videos up of who I am a long time ago. So part of the reason is so I don't say stupid things, which we all saw me do a couple weeks ago. Like I have the ability to do that like anyone else. But at the same time, being a paramedic and a Navy corpsman, I was on the news here and there. Most people throughout their life will end up being on the news at some point or the other. But having a job in public safety or being in the military, you're a little bit more prone to that. So I don't think I merit any kind of anonymity at all, or I should expect that. So that's my thing. Where did people can be so mean? I agree with that. That's the whole bad thing about not wanting to dox and just it's frightening, really. And I have my kids, young families there. Well, my son's getting married next month, and my daughter and son-in-law have a new baby, but my son's a cop, so I don't expect privacy there. We'd like to, but that's good. You were in the military, 80. That's very cool. What branch were you, if you don't mind me asking? We were just talking about doxing and like why, kind of who I am and why I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
Or personal info, I guess. And like you said, you've never had any reason to go, hey, I'm super cool mystery guy. You're just like, hey, I'm Mike, here I am, and everyone knows you. And
well, actually, we did find something very interesting about 80 the other day. I don't know if you were here for that.
the name?
80 what? Huh? Well, no, it wasn't. Well, it wasn't that. I mean, that
Atypical.
too.
I didn't understand that either.
I picked up on that, but that's not what I'm talking about. To be so mean. I was in the military also. Army. I was a
Cool.
test for females.
Very cool, sister. Very cool. Very cool.
80. I don't think Batgoat was here when we discovered your particular interest in a particular belief system. Would you like to share that with him?
Uh-oh. I feel like I'm being set up for something.
Well, it came out, again, it's not necessarily for me to say, but she no, but you can't. Oh, okay, so she's giving me permission to. So we had actually found out the other day. Katie admitted that she's a witch. She practices Wiccan, I believe.
Wiccan. Okay.
So she's a witch.
Okay. I don't have a problem with that. I know there's a lot of people that are Wiccan in this world.
Well, I didn't think you would have a problem with it. It was just an interesting little fact about her that I thought you might.
I think it's very cool. I wonder, 80, are you a nurse? She's gonna be like, no. Why'd you say that? I just know through my long life that I met quite a few nurses that were Wiccans. I don't know why. But a wicked Wiccan? Oh, no. Okay.
Wicca basket.
I know there can be very cool ones, too. So.
All right. Well, anyways, now that, now getting back to, so the next story here is Sunny Darling. Now, when I was I kind of knew going into today that I was going to do Flood Valve number 5 and Strike 3, You're Out. Those two stories I knew. I was trying to still figure out what other stories I could do. And so I was previewing some of this stuff. And then when I went through this one, I thought this one would be a fun one because you might be able to see some similarities with what's going on in today's world.
Okay, I remember you saying that before, so I'll be on the lookout for that. I was
back with that earlier, so I'm telling everybody else now. So what I want everybody to kind of, as I'm reading this, I want you to try to look for. I want you to kind of observe how people are interacting with each other, and see if you can pick up on certain attitudes. And then think about that as we're going through this. So here we go. Sunny Darling. You see some guys look like they're working there. So we've got a tough job ahead of us today, men. Each one of you be extra careful. Yeah, and if that brat in the next apartment house annoys us, I'm gonna beat him with a wrench.
Ouch.
There he is now, Bill. If I could only get my hands on him. Forget it, Pete. It's a cinch. He can't cause you any trouble. He's just a spoiled kid. Ha! Ha! You look like a lot. You look like a lot of monkeys. Bet I can hit you with my pea shooter. Aw, shut up, you little brat. Maybe, maybe you think I can't hit you. You know. Look at that shirt right there, Batgoat. Look at that. Look at that shirt. Look at the hair. I mean, the way they drew this. Now, this is a boy, mind you.
Mm-hmm.
But the way they drew him, that shirt looks more like a blouse to me.
He has a Little Lord Fauntleroy look, if you know what that means. You know who Little Lord Fauntleroy is?
No, but I have not off the top of my head, but I have a feeling kind of a prissy little boy character.
Yes, from a few hundred years ago. Like, think of the Princess and the Pea, the one who, like, they put 8 mattresses down and she could still sense a pea underneath the mattress, and that's how they knew she was a princess. Like, Little Lord Fauntleroy was too good for everything, and he was just this little boy running around in very, very fancy clothes.
Yeah. All right. So, anyways, guess I'm a pretty good shot at that. Wow. Ow, my eye. Help, I'm falling. And that is kind of dangerous to be shooting a pea shooter at people working on a building like that.
Mm-hmm.
He's safe. That young nuisance is going to learn a lesson. Break his doggone little neck, Bill. If it hadn't been for Bill, Mother! All right, young man. Mother!
Wow.
Are you beginning to see what I was telling you about, Batgoat?
How?
As compared to how people are acting nowadays?
That the kids are little wimps?
Well,
or that they expect to get away with something, and then as soon as they get caught, they run for screaming for help?
Well, yeah. I'll talk more about it as we go along here, but again, just keep focusing on the attitude and how a lot of people are interacting with each other here. Mother, ouch, help, Mother. Perhaps this will teach you a lesson. Henry, come quickly, Sonny's being murdered.
That's quite a leap for her to make as the mom. I'm not going to lie. But
in terms of the histrionics and stuff like that, in terms of the attitudes and the histrionics, doesn't it remind you of some of the stuff going on today with a certain group of people that we often talk about?
SJWs?
It kind of reminded me of them a little bit. Wouldn't you agree?
Well, yeah, that's. I think so. I'd like to think that I was trying to convey that when I said that he maybe I didn't say this right, that he was doing horrible activity and didn't expect that anything would come back to him, and it did.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was kind of where it was going, but it was kind of going towards the whole core of the whole. I see a lot of SJW in the story is what I was trying to get at. Oh, my poor darling. Mother, he tried to kill me. What's going on here? I might rather have stopped him, ma'am, than to have let him cause a death with that pea shooter. I did not, Mother. I didn't have my pea shooter. Actually, it looks like, what's kind of funny? I think he's lying to his mother right to her face.
He's holding it in his hand.
Exactly. Look at his hand right there.
Yeah.
Doesn't that remind you of SJWs as well?
100%. 100%.
Ah,
They're lying. Like it'd be like Smoking Joe, the wannabe dictator, holding a smoking gun and saying, I didn't have anyone from Russia fired due to my position. I mean, yeah, straight up lying.
I don't care to listen. Do something. Call the police. I don't care to listen, Henry. Do something. Call the police. That's just what I am doing. Hello, police department? I'll scram and let them come to me.
Scram, you knuckleheads.
So it was almost a case of Pete's death, sir. I had to do something. Oh wait. Actually, I'm sorry. I should have gone that. Later, Bill is called to the office of the president. So it was almost a case of Pete's death, sir. I had to do something. I don't blame you, Bill, but the complaint came from the police, and I had to speak to you. Be careful in the future. Now, that's kind of a contrast of what happened today. In this case, the bosses, if you I don't, obviously this isn't a corporate boss, this is a construction company, but back then they stood up for the employees in that situation. What do you think would happen if that was today, Batgoat?
They'd throw them under the bus. They'd say that we promote inclusivity, which is just 100% code for we hate white people, even though we are white. We control all the money of the world, and we hate white people. Wait. So all these kids running around thinking they're punk rock, supporting corporate banners. I don't know. It's confusing to me, Mike. It doesn't make sense how these people act.
Well, it's kind of funny because they rail on a lot of these corporations, but then I wonder how many of them truly know that it's a lot. Some of these corporations are the ones that are backing them up to cause chaos in our society.
You get what I'm saying, Mike. Like if you watch more of the Tim Pool videos and stuff like that, the true Antifa, the hardcore lefty thugs, they're 100% behind all these corporations that are putting out the SJW stuff that's blowing up on.
I know at least a little bit about like guys like the Koch brothers on the right, and then the Soros family on the left. So,
and I'm saying in general, you'll see Antifa and like Instagram and Twitter people supporting things like Coke, like getting a million thumbs up when they're like, hey, if you're white, don't drink our stuff. And like, if the first 100,000 morons on Twitter like it, and then it gets out it starts spreading out to normies, and people are like, really? This is what you people on the left are fighting for? It's weird.
Yeah.
I don't even think they know what they're doing.
Yeah. No, anyways, the following day, Bill returns to the job. Father, come here. Look, Father, they didn't fire that man at all. He's still working there. You're right, Sonny. They didn't. Henry, you see to it right away, the idea.
But see, the Karen in today's society would have ran right out and did it instead of waiting for the husband, right?
Right, probably.
Yeah.
Like how dare you come to work, you monster! You try to murder my son. Yeah, after your son essentially tried to murder one of his workers.
Mm-hmm.
If they're looking for trouble, they'll get trouble. Hello, Tom. I supported you in the election, Tom. Now, wow. I've got a favor to ask. I haven't forgotten. What can I do for you?
That's exactly why there are PACs and why people are not supposed to do stuff like that.
PACs?
Political action committees. So civilians can't do stuff like that, or like that's a boss Tweed, Tammany Hall type of thing from the late 1800s in New York, and pure corruption.
And I want you to give them plenty of trouble. Just leave that to Tom Ryan. Tell you what, I'll make you my assistant for a day. You can be there and watch the fun. Yeah, and a lot of people get upset at PACs, though, political action committees, thinking they're corrupt. But what you're saying is, though, is the reason we have PACs
was to get rid of nonsense like
corrupt.
that, and then the PACs themselves kind of got messed up. I mean, it depends on how you look at it. I don't know. Politics confuses me.
Yeah. Work has progressed a story higher. One day, Bill receives a call. Someone to see you at the elevator, Bill.
It is kind of classic, though. I imagine SJWs would like to see this if this is going where I think it's going.
Well, you'll just have to wait and see, won't you?
Yeah. I think Mr. Rich out of touch white guy might get a lesson.
We're the building inspectors. Just thought we ought to look over this job of yours. So it's you. Well, go ahead. But say, he'll do the inspecting. I'm not used to high places. Oh no, I'd rather have you both look over the job. I'm not concerned with him. You'll pay for this with your job too. Right. Oh, I guess I should have gone with up top first there. Take a look at that kid of yours now, Booker. I'm not concerned with him. You'll pay for this with your job too. Oh, he doesn't like what he's seeing here.
Mm-hmm. But it doesn't matter. He said, "I'm not concerned. I'm still going to fire you because I'm a jerk."
It looks like the kid's kind of doing something stupid there, doesn't it?
It looks like the kid's getting close to teetering outside that window there.
Yeah. Mother! Father! Oh, help, Father! I'm falling! Sonny! He'll be killed! Do something! Get the crane and help and save him! There's no time for the crane. It's being used. Get the attitude there, Batgoat?
Yeah. He should.
You know what? I don't know. I don't. Would you concur with this idea? I guess he expects them to drop everything to save his son.
Yeah, and so it's like we can't use the crane. It's being inspected right now, sir.
Save him, please! You've got to save him.
Why? He's a little brat.
It's only a chance, even if the boys' clothes hold. Oh, Sonny, darling! Stop your kicking. You'll tear away from that hook. So it looks like you got caught on a hook.
Mm-hmm.
How apropos. Look at that. He's going. He's getting to the kid right there. Because he jumped and then grabbed onto the windowsill.
Wow.
Grabbed him. That's pretty. Oh! Gosh, she's fainted. He's safe. Sonny is safe. I've got to get to him.
Yeah, dad of the year. Go for it.
Go get a glass of water, youngster. You've caused trouble enough for one day. Now do something useful. Could you imagine talking to an SJW like that?
I love it though. It's really cool. And he's got the wife in the hands. It's like, go beat your dad downstairs and take him for a walk in the park. Here's a 20, kid. Me and your mom got to do some dance lessons. Tell your dad to look up definition of the word cuck.
Anyways,
I'm kidding. I went too far with that.
Yeah, but that was funny though. If he was my kid, I'd fix him. Now, Batgoat, what do you think he would mean? He means when he said he'd fix him?
He'd beat the tar out of him. He'd give him a whooping.
Maybe take him to the woodshed, maybe with a belt or a switch or something like that.
Give him a switch or something. Yeah, that's how they rocked it back then.
Where am I? You're all right, ma'am. Take this glass of water
and drink in the studness that is me.
I couldn't believe you were saved, Sonny. I had to see it for myself. I'm all right. Only that man hurt me.
Of course.
Oh, God.
Of course.
Oh, I see a lot of things. You'll learn to behave, young man, from now on. Henry! Ouch! Stop! Father! Mother!
Score one for Dad.
Looks like the cook loaded something on there, Batgoat.
Dad comes up with the dictionary and he goes, Hey, tell Batgoat to look up Chad right here. And there's a picture of me. And Batgoat's going,
You taught me a lesson, McKay. I'm mighty grateful to you, more than I owe you. Well, thank you, but gosh, look, your wife has fainted again. Guess I better be going. Oh, the meeting of the Chads. Huh, Batgoat? Would you agree with that?
Yeah, that turned out pretty good. I like it.
Probably something we probably both agree probably should happen more with these SJWs. Wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. That was good. A couple dudes said, hey, look, there was some stuff that happened here. My kid's a piece of work, but thanks for showing me the right way. I'll kick his butt and things are going to be better. I mean, like, everyone wins. And the kid's going to grow up to be well-adjusted, too. So it's a good story.
Not some SJW whiny little prissy boy who goes out in the streets and marches for like sensationalism of
no justice, no peace, prosecute the police. Singing very cool chants like that, and yeah. Hey, there's Maymay. Hey, Maymay, how are you?
Yeah, let's kind of get. I am duct taping my fingers for 5 minutes. Wonder why you'd be doing that.
She's casting spells, so we got to be careful.
I guess she was responding to something I said. Let's see.
Yeah, I don't know. I was joking. I have no idea why she's doing that.
All right, well, I'm gonna have to. All right, army, and then that was Wicca. Okay, and we got all that. Wicca.
I wasn't gonna do the Lulz trophy without Toys isn't here. I'm like, I'm not gonna keep track. And then Woody said that, and I'm like, all right, well, there's a point right there. Like Wicca.
But I do love to be kind.
Which
cruel
is very
to be kind in the right measure. Cruel to be kind. Laugh out loud. Yes, I do. Feminine kind of boy.
When we were talking about little Lord Fauntleroy there.
Yeah. How people are mean towards others. Yep. was part of it. Yes, it does, Mike. I know. I don't remember exactly what I was asking that you responded to. I am duct taping my fingers for 5 minutes. An area of New York where I live, people whine about masks but don't do nothing about it, but whine and moan, yet don't care to get the vaccine. Just sharing my opinion. Well, I'm not doing either, and I don't complain about it. I just somebody tries to force a mask on me or force me to take a vaccine, I will not allow it. My choice. I did I did get both the vaccine shots because I care about a child of mine with lung issues who is visiting next week. Another -5 for spelling. At 80 Pickle, you are cool. And we have May May here. Hey, everyone. Hey, May May. At 80 Pickle, thank you. I feel the same. Hi, May May. I'm good. Hope everything is all right tonight. Well, hopefully you'll enjoy the story. And as always, guys, I do keep my streams up. So if you missed any of the stories or any of what we did, you can always go back and watch them again.
Hey, maybe before I put this away, I showed everyone else my old Navy ID if you want to see that.
Yeah, and apparently, even though I know we have more than that, but apparently we only have 2 people watching according to YouTube.
Yeah.
Anyways,
if Toys drops in, like I said before, I got a dope link to drop on him.
right, where are we at on time? Just out of curiosity. So 57 minutes. So we're doing okay on time. I don't know yet if I was telling you about earlier, Batgoat, if I will have enough time to get to any humor stories, but I guess we'll just wait and see. There's a couple stories go before, and I just got to find. Here we go. Here's the Jack Strand story I was telling you about. So, anyways, here's the next story we're going to cover Jack Strand, which I believe is another 7 pages. Jack Strand, convicted of murder on Diana's testimony, strikes Diana as he passes her and knocks her unconscious. Let me at him, coward. Make way there. You're all right, Miss Carlin. The yellow dog of a prisoner just took a pass at you. Oh, where am I? Come on, Miss. Don't pull that stuff on us. Your testimony is sending him to the chair. Oh, I know now. Jack. He's freed me from Sykes' power. Oh, where is he? But you can't, I tell you. All he says is true. I've got to save him. After ceaseless effort, Diana gets a hearing before the prison board. And after you're giving such conclusive evidence in court, you expect us to believe this fantastic tale of witchcraft?
Leto in the house. How are you, Leto? Good to see you, pal.
Leto's here, huh? Hey, Leto. Ow, that's nice. Old Navy ID. Interesting indeed. At 80. Come sit by me. Hey, Mike, Batgoat, Woody, 80, May, how are you? All right. I hope you guys, and I do hope you guys are enjoying the stories tonight. So, um, the hour approaches. Jack has been made ready for electrocution. Each passing second measures the length of his life. As the time nears, Diana gives way to uncontrollable grief. Meanwhile, a menacing black cloud causes panic in a quiet southern town. Suddenly, lightning flashes and buildings topple.
See you, 80.
Oh, did she leave?
She said she's peacing out.
Oh. Was there any particular reason why, or?
She's just saying good night.
Oh, okay. Don't mind me. I'm just here listening while I drive. Typo there. Hi, Lido. Morning, Woody.
As expected. I love it.
Saying good night and take care to all at 80 Pickle. Come and enjoy songs. Bye, all. Always morning somewhere. Yeah, I believe it's probably morning in the Far East right now, but
it's always beer 30 somewhere too.
Yeah. And out of the debris come hordes of Sykes' men attacking the populace, forcing Sykes' will on them. Maybe because there's a story dealing in witchcraft, maybe she didn't care for it, I guess. But I have orders to stay your electrocution 24 hours till we investigate reports from the south. We may want your aid. It's too late now, Warden. Personally, I believe it's all a hoax, but orders are orders. I'm not concerned, but if I have longer to live, I'd like to see Miss Carlin. The warden grants Jack this last request. Diana arrives shortly before the stay expires. Jack! Diana! I steeled myself against seeing you, dear, but when they gave me... Oh, I'm sorry. I thought she was the one who was speaking in that, but I guess not. I steeled myself against seeing you, dear, but when they gave me the stay of execution... Oh, Jack, it's come. More towns have been attacked. If they had only listened. I've tried to force my will against Sykes, but without the ray, it's helpless. Oh, I can't bear it. And to think it was I who brought this on you. Time's up, Miss Carlin. It's goodbye then. While the warden is giving notice to Diana, a strange thing is happening at the prison entrance.
Who's that?
Maybe that's Sykes, the guy that they're talking about.
Could be. Real quick, Leto, you know this, Mike. Leto said, hey, Batgoat, you're, what did he say? This isn't your usual room. I'm like, oh, well, I guess when you asked me, I'm like, I guess I never made that clear. So I broadcast from a laptop, and usually I have it turned around the other side of the table so you can see behind me there's a living room. Right now I have it turned towards the wall, which is just easier. And there's because we have wood floor. So I've got a glass thing, a big pane of glass, which is kind of a popular thing now. Instead of like putting plastic weird stuff to protect your floor, you put a big sheet of tempered glass. So like that's what my main chair is on. And even though I like having stuff behind me, and like it's just easier to do this route. And like I showed Mike this before. It's probably messy. I shouldn't, but like there's the kitchen. So it's a very small place. So I guess I can make it look different depending on which way I'm aiming the camera. But that's funny that you noticed that. I think Woody said something about that before too.
Yeah.
Or Mike, you noticed it too. You're like,
well, I noticed it last week when we were talking just between ourselves. So.
Yeah, because like that's what I did. I turned the computer so you could see me in the kitchen. And he's like, "Oh, what? You were in a different place before." And I'm like, "Well, no, it's actually camera angle." So I turned it all around.
All right. So with all that cleared up, let's get back to the story here.
Thanks for indulging me. And
no problem.
Leto gets it now. He goes, "Okay, I see."
This time we'll meet him together, Diana. Oh, Jack, he's here. Strand, you freed me from Psyche's power, and now I'm giving you a chance to free the world. Oh, it's not Psyche then. Why? Why? It's the guard I socked in front of Psyche's quarters.
Socky it to me, baby. Yeah. My Austin Powers imitation really bad.
I've lived under the pretense of being in Psyche's power since he left. It's taken all my strength. You'll have to finish him. Follow me.
Why is that dude wearing a water polo cap? Isn't that what water polo players wear?
Does look very similar, but I don't know. Maybe it's a kind of part of his uniform and some kind of like.
Oh no, the water
like magical, some kind of magical sect or something like that.
Okay, the water polo people, like they have something over their ears. That looks more like when you see the guys going out in the surf in Australia in those big rowboats. They put those red caps over their head. I think it's like a lifesaver thing.
Yeah. Take this ray and follow through, and God bless you. You don't see that last statement, and I bet you don't see that last statement in a lot of today's comics.
Not really, no.
God bless you.
Mm-hmm.
I hope we'll meet soon, sir. And I'm going to. We shan't be separated again. Well, we're here, Diana. Do you know where Psyche is most apt to be? Yes, he operates huge ray dynamos in the castle dungeon. When I step down, turn these rays on Psyche. I may get him unaware. Caught off guard, Psyche faces a ray that he had been using against civilization. It weakens his will, and he is forced to resort to physical strength. So there's Psyche right there.
Yeah.
Look at that.
So he's the bad guy, and the dude that came up was a guard that
had been supposedly under his power.
Yeah.
He's done, Diana. When I turn off the dynamo, he'll pass out of existence. With the loss of the powerful ray, Psyche's power ceases. The followers he had taken from death die. Those he had taken from the living become well again. Look at that. And then they're going to burn everything crisp. Jack, what? Oh, I've had such a terrible dream. About Psyche? I've had the same dream. But, but, this furniture is all dusty. Then, then it wasn't a dream. No, Diana, it's all too true. I, I'm still dressed for my execution. Oh, Jack! If Psyche had conquered the world, all subconscious thought would have become conscious. We'd live the things we dream. And the way we live and think now, we'd only know when we were asleep. We've been through a lot, Diana. I think we'd better get married. Then nothing ever can part us again. Jack, I felt so safe with you. I think that was a bit of a typo there. I think she meant to say I felt so safe with you.
Or feel.
Yeah. Or I feel so safe with you. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It'd probably be even better than that. That's what Jack. That's what Jack thinks. He little knows that Death Stalkers close close even now. See Jack and Diana in a brand new adventure in the next issue. Well, okay, I probably should have read that afterwards, but we'll buy a little cottage with a garden. We'll have peace and quiet, just you and I. That's an interesting story there.
Mm-hmm.
Where are we at on? Yeah, I do have one more of me. So we're at an hour and 12. So this last story that this next story I'll do is 5 pages. We'll see where we're at. See if I want to, if I feel I can go back and strike three. You're out. So here we go. Extra park sign says, and there's a bit of a new, no dogs allowed. Sign. I'll report this to our local paper. I hope the editor is in. Dogville Gazette Daily Bark. Sports Department. I'm reading the signs as well as the dialogue, just in case you guys are getting a little confused there.
I got what you were doing.
Yeah. Go on with the story. And I saw the sign with my own eyes. Hello, press room. Hold everything for big extra. He'll run a special edition. Now we'll see the reaction. The reaction. Extra. No dogs allowed in public park. Editor special. Extra. Just out. Great, fellows. Wow. Wow. Bow.
Instead of bow wow.
I guess. And I say, it's a shame. Well, we'll go to the protest meeting tonight. Calling all dogs, big meeting tonight. It's an outrage. Well, protest. Town hall indignation meeting tonight. Oh, don't push. Ouch. Come on, let's go inside. You've heard the story. What can be done? Bob, I have a plan. Take the stand. I think you got something there, Growler. What can be done? Special committee. Wow, it's a great idea. Quiet, please, and he'll explain his scheme. Cut the speech. Give us the plan. Put us wise to it. And each of you. Oh wait. Oh. And each of you can catch one. You catch one cat and bring it to the gate of the park at midnight. Atta pup! Oh, wow! Let's go! Great! It's a wow! Great! Applause! 3 cheers! Hooray! Quiet, quiet now, you mutts. Here's where we dump the cats. Meow! 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 Let 'em go, fellers. Over the park fence. Meow! 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 Now back to the hall and await developments. Meow! 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 Oh, there's a friend of yours, Batgoat.
Hey, look, check him out.
In the right panel there.
Yeah, he doesn't have any wings, but he's still pretty rad.
Hello, police station. Something has to be done about this. We'll attend to it right away.
Who's calling?
Meow, meow.
Batgoat's calling the cops. He says Mike Walters is going to do another 25 meows in a row.
Double quick. Will you please help us? We won't know. Next. Ditto. Wow. What is the matter? Oof. Come to the park and drive those cats out. They're in a huddle. Woof, woof. We'd like to help you, but we can't. Why not? You, them, him? Because there are no dogs allowed in the park.
Oh, now I get it.
Haha. It serves them right.
Serves them right.
And so that's it for the stories.
I didn't see what they were doing till right at the very end, and I'm like, oh, now I get it.
So we're at an hour and 19. So I think I can probably, if I breeze through some real quick, I'd probably find some of the more humorous stories. Or it's kind of. I thought you were in a hotel and was worried. Laugh out loud. Okay, I feel better. No, that's his apartment, Leto. Driving is sorry if I typed less.
Just two different angles from where I'm sitting. It's really funny that it works like that, but.
All right. So anyway, now what I'll do is I'll kind of only a couple pages left here, and then starting from the beginning again, we'll probably look up some humor stories here, and then out on the farm. Say, Pa, don't you think it would be easier if you made a bucket? Shucks. I would forget my glasses. My new store bought bathtub. Guess I'm getting kind of chicken-hearted. I wasn't broken up, and then we already read that. Ma and Pa. Hurry up, Pa. I've got to go to the beauty parlor. You're as slow as molasses. Don't you know we've got to go out tonight? Or, you know, he just sitting there smoking while his wife's inside getting all purty like, right?
Mm-hmm.
Tisk, tisk, tisk. I'm ready now, Pa. Look, he needs a shave though.
Yes, he does.
I think this is pager, yeah. Funny fables. Catnips. Other kind of anthropomorphic. Oh, Mommy. What is it, my dear? That tomcat next door can't meow anymore. And why not? A man cut his tail off. Well, that won't stop him from meowing. Oh, yes, it will, Mother. He'll cut it off right up to his neck.
It means he cut his head off.
Oh, boy.
That's kind of rude.
Yeah. See, that one I think was an interesting one, too. High Pressure Preston. First cemetery I saw with lights. What you think of our town, stranger? It's a healthy town too. I know you don't bury the dead. Just dress them up and let them walk around. It's this train running, or is this train running, or is it closed for the season? What time do I get a train for Chicago? 2:50. Make it 2:48 and I'll take it.
This guy's spitting out one-liners that aren't funny at all.
Actually, I think I got maybe the last one-liner.
The 240 and the 248. And what do you think of our town? For first town I saw, a cemetery with lights. It's a healthy town. I didn't think you dressed up your dad and let him walk around. What? What are you doing? That wasn't funny at all. But interesting.
Yeah. Well, just good to show you what passed for humor back in those days, huh?
Very true. But some of the stuff that they throw out, it cracks me up. You know that? Some of them are really good.
Some are good, some aren't so good. But
yeah, my man
Oz. That's the whole point. What may be funny to you may not be funny to somebody else, and what's not funny to you may be funny to somebody else too.
Of course, very true.
The whole idea here is to give people kind of a sample of some of the stuff that was done back in these days, right? No?
Yeah.
I already saw that. Jack Strand. Nothing but the truth. Great flight to history. Okay, we can maybe take a look at this. I know you're an aviator guy.
I do like flying. That would be Charles Lindbergh and the Spirit of St. Louis.
Colonel Charles A. Lindbergh. The Lone Eagle in his monoplane the spirit of St. Louis, hopped off on May the 10th, 1927, from San Diego, California. He reached St. Louis May 11th. So, wow, so a full day. Left there May 12th and landed the same day at Mineola, New York.
Yeah, this is 1927. Yeah, 1927.
He left Mineola on May 20th and reached Paris May the 21st, completing the most spectacular flight up to that time. This young man became famous overnight. His name was sung around the world. Later, his heart was saddened by the kidnapping and death of his young son. He now lives quietly in Europe.
Which is not true, because he did not live quietly in Europe. He was a pretty vocal socialist and weirdo later on in his life. Pretty anti-American too.
Well, but also remember too, this was 1937.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe maybe what you're telling me now developed after this happened.
By 1937, he was already he was with the majority of uneducated idiots that did the America First isolationist policy and didn't want to get involved in World War II, which almost caused the world to end.
He was with the isolationists?
Yeah, he was with we're not getting involved in World War II. This is the fight, which it was a popular view. I mean, in his defense, it was a popular view, but it was the wrong, 100% wrong view, as we all know.
At that time. But
in any time in history, to not want to get involved, and we wouldn't be here. We wouldn't even be talking about it if that were the case.
Right. Well, let me add, because the way you just made it sound, you might have just made an argument against MAGA right there.
Against what?
MAGA, Make America, with Trumpism.
No, because it was specifically what I'm talking about was specifically related to foreign policy and not getting involved with what Hitler was doing.
And you felt in that case we should have gotten involved with Hitler. Trump's been pulling. Not that again. It sounded to me like there might have been the isolationists and the their line of reasoning might be fueled in some ways to how we view foreign policy.
Sure. I get what you're saying, but yeah, I mean, it's still debated and people talk about it, but I mean, it's pretty much agreed on. Like, there was no reason to not want to stop Hitler, and England had a really tough time hanging on through in 1940 when you study everything. But yeah, I get what you're saying, and yeah, I mean, there's two really big distinctions. One that, specifically just talking to the war, and I think MAGA is more like an attitude of the whole country pulling itself up by the bootstraps would be the way I'd say it.
Yeah. All right. So let's see. Where are we at now in time here? Oh, coming up on an hour. So we still probably have a little more time to get maybe one or two more these quick little humor stories in.
I'd like to add, Mike, those are just my opinions, by the way. I don't mean to offend anyone. These are my opinions, and I'm completely subjective.
Mm-hmm. The firehouse game. Chief, the bell's ringing. Do you think there's a fire somewhere? All right, boys. I found it. Hope it's a nice and big one. Okay, how can there be a fire if it looks like it's snowing?
It does look like it's snowing.
Hot dogs.
Mike, I've been on fires in the snow before. I mean, as a paramedic, that's anytime there's a fire, especially at like a structure where people live, they always call ambulances. If you think about the news, what do you always see? You always see ambulance. So we would stand by on fires, and just because it's snowing doesn't mean, in fact, it's kind of a pain in the butt because water starts freezing up and it's harder for the firefighters
to use the hoses. Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Hot dogs. Look at the size of it. Boy, oh boy. Don't be hogs. Let me get in there and get warm too. Oh, that's funny.
They want a fire just to go roast weenies and get warm.
Fair facts. Here's another interesting little. Tommy, run and mail this letter, and here's 3 cents for a stamp. Oh wait, actually, I'm sorry. That is a female bear. Tommy, run and mail this letter, and here's 3 cents for a stamp. I think Tommy is a much better boy since he joined the Bear Scouts.
Very true, Woody. People light fires for warmth all the time. Good point.
Yeah. I'm back. Did you mail the letter, Tommy? So quick? And I saved the 3 cents. I dropped it in the box when no one was looking.
Oh, Tommy. He meant well, but that didn't.
And what did you do with the 3 cents? I gave them to a poor man who owns a candy, and he gave me 3 lollipops. And that.
Okay, Tommy, you little jerk. At least he got his lollipops out of the deal, right?
Yeah, spider legs. We already went through strike 3. You're our pup. Oh, my name is Rinky Dinky, and I'm a playful pup. I often bark and make believe I'd like to eat you.
Grr.
That's a thing I'd never do. I'm fooling all the while, and when I get you good and scared, I hide away and smile. Cause you forget that dogs like me will only do what's right, and when we bark, it only means we never bite. Quite a precocious little. And that's all for that tonight. So how'd everybody like the stories tonight?
They were good.
You like the nice, yeah. Oh, hey, Letta from May. When it's cold, homeless people make fires for warmth. Yeah. So how'd everybody? I know you just said something back up. How'd everybody like the stories tonight? I was hoping to put in as much of a nice mix as possible with both, some dramas and some humor in there.
I thought they were good. We had the Navy one that I liked, of course. Gosh, who was the dude who you just read it? The guy who got off death row. That was
Jack Strand.
Yes, that was a good one. I like that one. And then the Sunny, the really good story, Sunny Boy. That was really good.
Sunny Darling.
Yeah. Sunny Darling was great. I like that one a lot. So
kind of reminds you of what we wish we could do to a few SJWs out there, doesn't it?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
I took notes when you were reading the one about the dogs weren't allowed in the city park anymore, and the sign said no dogs allowed. Made me think of Snoopy. Did anyone else think of Snoopy? Maybe it's because of my age. So I grew up on all those Snoopy movies from the 70s. But I think of Snoopy Come Home. And in the beginning, it's been a long time since I've seen it. In the beginning, though, Snoopy was like, he kept getting kicked out of places. I remember the sign, no dogs are allowed. They would sing it like that. Snoopy kept putting his head down and walking down the street. And he got so bummed that I think he ran away. I believe that's the whole premise of that movie. Am I right? I think I'm right.
Yeah, actually, what it also kind of reminds me of a little bit is I know there was at least one Tom and Jerry cartoon where they were talking about like the leash laws and stuff like that. Probably a few of them, but
Mm-hmm.
remind me of those too a little bit. You know, as you know, you're getting into the birth of suburban life, and now they have to keep dogs on leashes.
I would think by the 30s that probably popped up like everywhere. That's like you got to clean up, or like we can't have dogs running around a city all
Yeah,
wild.
and just doing their business any which place they want.
So I was at this place one time, or someone was just telling me. We were talking about different places we had been, and me as a reservist, I'm like, I've been here, been to this hospital, this place. I'm like, and I remember someone going, man, I was like overseas at some base. They were off a ship, and they said way back in the day, you would see a sign on someone's grass that would say, "Sailors and dogs keep off the grass."
Oh, sailors and well, I mean, as we know, as we've watched a few Popeye cartoons in our time, Popeye and Blue, sailors do have somewhat of a negative reputation at times, huh there, Batgoat?
No, they're just fine, upstanding citizens, and every time they pull into port, they make sure that they help the community around them. No, of course, sailors are horrid. They drink and they womanize and they fight and they have, yes, of course
they
have
drink, they carouse, and
they do.
they drink and they carouse and they drink and they carouse.
And I may have even been part of that, even as a Navy reservist. When you get a bunch of dudes together and you're like, okay, here's your training. Here's 3 weeks. We're flying you, the 5 of you, out to Washington, and you each get your own car, and you're staying here, which is basically like a hotel for free. And it's like, well, all right. So what do we got to do? I don't know. Show up at the hospital at 0700, and some chick in a skirt's going to yell at you and tell you to do something. And that's what it was. That was a great time. And so we were out just drinking every night. Oh man. And didn't pay a dime.
You were in the Navy, so
yeah, that was back in '99. Back in '99, man, 22
you were in the Navy, so it would not have been a major, but did you have? Let's see, what would kind of be the equivalent of major?
Commander.
So
Lieutenant commander.
So did you have a Commander Houlihan then?
No.
You know what I'm referencing, right?
Yeah, from MASH, Hot Lips Houlihan. That's Army. In the Navy, everything's run by corpsmen, and I mean, like, they're physically putting their hands on and doing everything. And then you've got a few doctors telling a lot more nurses what to do, and then the nurses kind of disseminate it down. So, like, where I was at, I was always controlled and told what to do by someone just one grade above me. So, as an HM2, I was getting HM1s or E6s telling me what to do in a hospital. It was just a clique. It was just a little hospital, boys and girls club, and who's hanging out with who. And it was just horrid. I hate naval hospitals.
Yeah. So anyways, we're at an hour and 38. So we got through a pretty good time there. Usually we go right up till, basically by the time we get, we pretty much use the time, sometimes even go over. But today we were able to keep it pretty.
Sorry, I'm yawning. Oh, you know what I wanted to say? The opposite of what I was talking about, Naval Hospital. When I went to field med school and I became a brown or a dirt sailor, that's the exact opposite. Whenever you have a problem or something you need help with, it's like, well, first of all, myself, we were part of a Navy command attached to the Marines. So we didn't have any real support structure, which I think is the case for a lot of the Navy medicine when it comes to the Marines. And like what I was talking about, cliquey and like people hanging out in the naval hospitals, when you need to get something done or something isn't happening, when you're with not the fleet hospital, just when you're out with the Marines and you're in the field, it's here's the answer, figure it out, get it done.
Yeah.
So that's the exact polar opposite of a naval hospital. We got a problem here. Well, that's your problem. Figure it out.
Yeah. Well, I was a little you were telling me earlier that you were wrong about Flood Valve 5. I think I was too, because even I kind of thought for a while there it was a submarine, but it was actually just a naval boat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You usually go until Nick starts popping the cork off the scotch model. Yeah, I mean, on Friday, because usually we have more material to go through too. I mean, we just basically went through one book tonight. Usually I'm like going, well, it's gonna depend too on who we're talking about too. Like Detective Comics, we'll be going through like 2 or 3 books. We'll be going through more stuff. Centaur, maybe not as much. But
I kind of read that to say we're getting sick of the Navy stories, Goat. I'm joking.
Yeah, well,
he might have. You never know. Halfway joking.
Well, Batgoat, if you'll stick around after I think we're now we're already at an hour 41, so I think it's about a good time to start wrapping up. Maybe good. Doing this day and each. If you'll stick around afterwards for a few minutes for post game, as it were. All right, so guys, are you all ready for this day in each history? We're about to wrap up here.
History. Toys never came by. I didn't drop him the link. The link to a neat video I wanted him to watch.
1997. All right, so is everybody ready? Well, I know Batgoat because he's already said something. You guys out there in viewerland ready for history? Almost ready. Nietzsche. All right. So, anyways, guys, as we're okay, and let's see. Okay, now I'm ready. All right. So, anyways, guys, today being Friday, May the 21st, 2021, we're going to take a look back at this day in each history. And the first place we're going to go to is we're going to go to 1997 will be our first stop tonight on this day in each history. A little time travel here is on this day in each history. The 95th issue of Archie's Pal Jughead Comics went on sale on this date in 1997, which happened to be 24 years ago today. So 24 years ago today, the 95th issue of Archie's Pal Jughead Comics went on sale on this date for $1.50, and it was 32 pages. So there we go with that one. I'm moving on to the next piece of niche news. As on this date, 20 years ago today, coming from the Compact Center in San Jose, California, the WWF at the time held its Monday Night Raw event the night after their Judgment Day pay-per-view. Main event of the night saw Chris Benoit and Chris Jericho defeating the two-man power trip of Steve Austin, Triple H for the WWF Tag Team Championships. Also, you saw Kane retain the Intercontinental Championship he won from Triple H the night before. Also on the card, The Big Show defeated Rhino for the WWF Hardcore Championship. Saw the APA defeat Dean Malenko and Perry Saturn. Matt Hardy retained his European Championship over X-Pac. The Holly Cousins beat the Dudley Boys. Eddie Guerrero teamed up with Jeff Hardy to defeat Christian and Edge. So that happened on this date 20 years ago. 20 years ago, from the WWF had its Monday Night Raw event the night after Judgment Day. And one more piece of niche news before we finish off the night here. On this date 5 years ago today, in 2016, I believe these were films. Let me just double check that. Yeah. The anime films, Arrow, Divine Flame from Mappa, produced by Mappa, and Why We Live, The Priest, Renyo, and the Yoshizaki Fire from Studio Dean. These two anime movies premiered on this date 5 years ago today. So Mappa's Garo, Divine Flame, and Studio Dean's Why We Live, The Priest the Priest Renyo and the Yoshizaki Fire premiered on this date 5 years ago today. So, with all that being said, guys, I thank everybody for being here tonight. I hope you guys enjoyed the stories, and we shall wrap up here. So I shall bid you good night.
I personally kept a real light. It was a very light Lulz trophy, but I did keep track of it because Woody, you had 2 really good ones. Leto had a good one. So Woody, you did win this week. So I believe it's now 6-5 with Toys in the lead. I still owe him a championship swatch.
All right. So anything else you want to say, Batgoat, before we close it out?
I thought it was great stream, good stories, and thanks for having me.
All right, guys. Well, hopefully I'll see you all back here on Monday as we end. Oh, and don't forget, a week from Monday we'll be doing open mic night. So hope you guys will be ready for that on Monday, May 31st, Memorial Day. We'll be doing open mic night. So anybody and everybody's welcome to join. I think, as I recall, I can have up to 10 people in here at one time. So thanks, Batgoat. Anyways, all right, guys. Well, I will see you all on Monday. Bye.